NERDSoul.
Lay ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, all year, another wonderful episode. Anime is team up. You know the drill. This man, it's been a while, and I'm excited because we got the folks up in here. Now, I'm going to throw it to one of the organizers of the Mid City Microcon, the smash hit that goes down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Mr. Cooper, how you doing?
Hey y'all, how's it going? Appreciate all the love, man. I just did a podcast review and kind of talked and kind of gushed about it crazily on my homies from Nerd Squatch. Of course, it will be at www.blurtish.com soon. And I just wanted to thank people like you, everybody who came. Of course, we're gonna get Ninja back there one day, but everybody at the Animation crew, in Stephen Harris, Milton Davis, Cartoon Man, I have very, very special thank you. 8-bit as well, Liger
Oh
Zero.
yeah.
You know, look, no secret. I look everybody who helped and staff, but all that wonderful, beautiful black talent and the people who definitely was on that panel. Man, it was just good to see so many people in the building.
Yo, man. Also, shouts to all the great questions we got. We had a good time. Even the young lady that didn't like her icy at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I ain't put her on Front Street, but we had a good time. We had a good time. Now, we also have another person. You may know this person as the recipient of the Kunoichi of the Year. All right. This young lady not only knows how to throw smoke bombs, but can also hit you with a Kagebushi no Jutsu. All right. And when you think you hit her, she just turns into a piece of wood. And next thing you know, she like grabs your leg from underground and slams you in your head. I give to you. All right. Ninja Sama Cosplay. What's up? How you doing? How you feeling this evening? Where you at?
Will the real ninja please stand up? Just just kidding. It's just a log. Good morning, good evening, good night. It's Ninja Sama Cosplay. Coming to you from the lab in the corner, in the den, in the dungeon, in the dojo, in the casa house, etc.
Ah.
etc. Forever. Amen. I heard good things about Mid City. Shout out to all of the people, including Lady Lovelace, Ooh La La, Liger, my boy, Gamma, of course, family, Blurtish, NERDSoul, all the people. Saw all you beautiful people doing beautiful things. And as a former judge and former cosplay contest coordinator, it was great to see. So love it for y'all. Glad y'all had a good
Hey,
time. Happy
I
to be
just
here.
just
For
want to say
sure.
this real quick. The lady who wrote our rules is Ninja Samba. Like before anybody, if anybody get it twisted, not that I'm going that hard, but she wrote those rules that we are using and made the basis of it. So she is a foundational piece of
Yep.
what we have established at that con.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? The
Often
cornerstones,
imitated,
y'all.
never duplicated. The blueprint. No, I'm kidding.
Cause
Yo,
no,
But it's
no,
no, no,
man.
no,
great.
no, no,
Hey,
no, no,
that's the
no.
truth.
I'm
That's the
no real
truth.
talk. There's people who ain't there, and I just be like I be in the committee room, be like, "Yeah, you ain't write them rules. Like, yeah, you better. Like, you need to be when you address these rules, former cosplay coordinator who ain't there no more. I don't care. She don't work there no more. But
Hmm.
they're like, you ain't write this. I just
Like
be
you
like,
don't,
bruh,
you don't even know
I
what
be
you're
sitting
doing.
there, just be like, Lord have mercy. I cosplay coordinator, but who got all the cosplay talents? You're welcome. Anyway, continue.
Well, while we're avoiding copyright infringement, I would like to say that I did use Southeastern standards at the time. MechaCon, MomoCon, AWA, so on and so forth. You know who you are. So these library cons, such as Mid City Microcon, you get in there, start cosplaying. You already kind of know the lay of the land. Just go up from there. Keep playing.
That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Let a player play. Now we got someone else. I want to give a shout out to this young brother. This young brother right here, the other half of the dynamic duo of the South. This man straight up took me all around Baton Rouge. This man was giving me, you know what I'm saying, how should you say, uh, clean, fair, open, and safe passage all around those Baton Rougean streets. I give to you, Mark Dub. What's up?
What is going on, y'all? It's Mark Dub. Half man, part amazing, spicy like that Creole on occasion. Hey, it was no problem being like the coolest Uber to like the coolest cat in the city visiting.
We even saw Shorty get mad at Albertsons, you know what I'm saying? But it was all good when we left, you know what I'm saying? It was all good.
Hey,
And
Shay,
I
you mad with
gotta
us?
find out about the cotton candy grapes or something. I gotta come back.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. It's a thing.
You know
You
what I'm saying?
and your palate won't. Your palate will thank you. It'll be like, oh, where have these cotton candy grapes been my whole life?
'Cause when I straight up thought she was making something up. I was like, look, did y'all
I
making some stuff
mean,
up?
They need to make Mark the salesman of that because he been selling me on those for years. I need to go try them, but
oh
Mark,
my goodness,
he knows about them. So Mark ain't no liar. He's a
Yo, cool,
testifier.
man. You gotta go over there, you know what I'm saying? Try you in the city, man. You gotta do that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So
look, I will definitely take some coins because I have definitely been pushing it ever since I had cotton candy grapes. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
He makes them sound so good.
oh
Oh,
man. Well, to get it started, someone who is so good is often overlooked because when they came in the game, they were a made for animated TV character. And they seem to be outshined by the partner that this person was with. But I give to you Ninja Sama, who's going to break down how she's feeling about, that's right, Harley Quinn, Miss Quinzel, the one and only Deadpool of DC. No, I mean, but nah, that sort of in the way the animated series rolls off. But you know what I'm saying? I give it to her, break down, you know what I'm saying, what Harley been doing, you know what I'm saying? She back, you know what I'm saying? She chilling. I see her riding on the rocket. You know what I'm saying? She ain't by herself. She got help. So break it down for us a one time, if you could, about Miss Harley and how you feeling about the show? Like is it worth watching you know what I'm saying, this time around? What's up?
First and foremost, can you hear me?
Yep.
Am I good? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Ride the gravy train while I can. I believe this is season 4.
I believe so.
It might be. Yeah, I think so.
I would like to preface that I do think that I was fully prepared for the show to end at season 2. I thought her riding out with Ivy was kind of like a great end, and then I was hoping that it would expand and kind of go into something else.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, so far the season's good. Binge it. I think there's 5 episodes out right now. I would say the biggest highlight is that you're seeing the parallel of how anti-heroes can work. You see Ivy kind of leaning as the CEO of Legion of Doom, leaning into her villainousness. Whereas Harley, working with the Bat family, is leaning into the hero ness. And so so I do think I like seeing some of that. That being said, as things keep on and going each season after the second season, I've been kind of waiting for, okay, how does one expand on this? Well, they do have Lex involved. They have Joker involved. They have brought in Steppenwolf, which is interesting in its own way. We'll see where that goes. So I would say if you're a fan of the show as is, watch it, let it finish, and binge it. But it is kind of interesting to kind of build a Saturday morning and watch like Superman and then go watch Harley Quinn. Like it kind of has a little bit of a like adult Saturday morning
cool.
cartoon vibe to it. And there are elements about Harley Quinn that I do like over Superman, and then kind of vice versa now that I am watching both at the same time.
Okay.
For sure. So I still think it's worth the watch. If you're already invested, then yeah, you might as well keep on going. I just am going to challenge this show to see what it does, towards the end of this season, kind of like, where they're going to keep going. Like, you can't just keep on the same level of energy forever. But I do say by the time I finish a season of Harley Quinn, am pleased that I watched it. That's why I say it's more of a binge show than a week to week. Because yeah, so I did watch the first 5 episodes over the past weekend.
I binged last season, and I feel exactly like you said. I didn't regret binging it. I wasn't a week to week watcher. I don't know if I would have stuck with it week to week, but I did enjoy binging it. So
I will say I have been a week to week of the first 3 seasons. This season, I just forgot it came on. So I'm actually happy to binge it. But I love what you said, Ninja, that, I mean, it's a funny comparison, but I guess to have Superman as your Saturday morning, and then to give that kind of Adult Swim Toonami vibe of the craziness of Harley Quinn, it's kind of like the spiritual successor from Venture Brothers for me. So that's why I love that it continues since Venture Brothers is now over. Which is funny because Venture Brothers is a parody everything superheroes and sci-fi, but they kind of got that weird manic energy, and they get the voices right, man. They just I haven't gotten tired of it.
It reminds
I never
me.
get tired of Dr. Girlfriend.
It reminds me if you're like watching Saturday morning cartoons, and let's say you've watched, I don't know, let's just say like Avatar or something like that, or Kid in the Store, something more lighthearted, and then you go watch like, I don't know, Johnny Test or Angry Beavers or something after that. It's definitely like 2 sides of 2 different currencies of 2 different ethnicities and countries of currency, but they're both currency.
Yes.
Okay.
And just for the record, since this is a family show for Mike.
Yeah, it is a family show. You know what I'm saying?
For those who do not know the rating,
watch your mouth.
Those who do not know the rating of Harley Quinn, ratings are your friend. We're not saying for your child to go watch Harley Quinn. That is a R-rated show.
Yeah, that's not for the kids.
Now, hold up,
yeah, absolutely not. Please don't.
Hold up now. I remember I gave the same warning for Joker, the Joker movie, and boy, they got on me.
Oh, first of all, hold on.
So let the children watch the terrible R-rated stuff.
Nah, first of all, the sucker who got on you, I don't even see where he exists on social media anymore. So he was a bum. He was was it a dusty chin? He was super dusty. He wore a cowboy hat for some reason, and he's from New York. And he was, as the kids say, he ain't got no riz. He was trying to.
He probably got a do rag with sweat lines in it and stuff.
Right.
Like, man.
It was so sad. He was coming on. You know what's funny? Me and Mark never go on nobody else's Facebook page. We'll post the most inane stuff. It just happened to me now about a memory and somebody who's a little negative, who close to a friend of ours. Like, I didn't do that. This must be regional. Like, well, yeah, common sense.
Some things are regional.
Some things are regional. Okay. It's not all East Coast, baby. But hey, I'm saying,
also, even the East Coast is regional. Like, people in Virginia probably are not doing things that people in Massachusetts or Vermont are doing.
Exactly. Like, so this Joker had no sway. Was coming on Mark thing to challenge him, and Mark read him so eloquently without cursing him out and explained why the Joker has influenced some serial killers. It has happened. There is a test case for this, and we see it. So I hate when I'm gonna drop this, but nerds, blurs, people out there, we like fandom. Don't be silly and goofy out here.
Stop being a whole goofy.
Yeah, there are some characters that people take too far. Light Yagami is one of those characters that you have to be kind of leery when somebody really, really loves light. You have to question their psychology. There are test cases out there.
Yeah, it's like you like him psychology. A little too much.
Like, people like, he was never wrong and he was a hero. I'm gonna drop that, but I'm just gonna say that don't be a goof out here. Don't mix reality and fantasy up, and don't be the one who's taking it too far. But I wanted to just drop that just to say that, because Just in case somebody be like, oh, well, you said this, whatever, I don't know. It's R
Ain't,
rated, folks.
ain't
Look at
nobody,
ratings.
ain't nobody think about them. But now I do want to say there is someone who I'm excited about. All right, this man has been instrumental in my current life as far as last year and this year is concerned. I've been missing this young brother, but the brother has now put on the turban. All right, the brother has donned the turban. All right, he has prepared himself, wrapped himself in the godly robes. I give to you the new and improved Ichigo. All right, that's what I'm saying, bro. You see him? He got the turban on. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even take the steps because he like, look, I got to get there quick. You know what I'm saying? This man, he's back in action. You can see he got the fire in his eye. He been training. We didn't even see the training, so you know it's gonna be some ill stuff because they ain't even show. It's kind of like when you know something expensive when they don't show you the price. This the same thing. They ain't even show the training, so you know he about to come in there and started doing some stuff where he like push the glasses up slow and then like stuff explodes around him or something. It's gonna be sweet. All right. Also, before I jump off this topic and throw it to my man Coop, once again, TV time be mad funny. They said that this stuff been going on for 3 hours. Hold up, what?
That's Bleach for you, for sure.
Bro, this like episode 5 or something. What you talking about 3 hours?
Man, look.
TV time is always, you be like, hold up, I don't know if it's been a day, a week, I don't know. Like even in Hell's Paradise, what did they say? They said it was what, 3 days or something?
Shout out to RDC1 with that skit where they was like, I think it was like the 5-minute skit. They changed the bad guy's soul to become a good guy. Drove to the house and they was like, come on, bro. How many times elapsed? They were gaining minutes back. They were like, the bomb ain't even go off. Like, how we became friends, told us how to stop the bomb, and we drove here. And nothing, like, come on, bro. Something's wrong here. So it's like, I love that they did that skit because anime just like 1 minute equals a whole day or episode. It does not matter.
Yeah,
they throw time away.
And I ain't gonna dog out anime because TV does it too. Like I ain't like live action TV does it too. You be like, hold up, is this the same night? You be like, I know y'all want to have a survive the night movie, but bruh, so it's only been like this whole movie. It's only been like 30 minutes. Hold up, it's like because y'all been running from these people for a long time, but. I digress. I've been calling it TV time for a long. Hey, TV time. They do whatever they want. I digress. But this episode, we got a very, very much needed, connection, respect with Rukia, man. I'm proud. I'm proud. The step up was real, man.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
I haven't watched it, but I love Rukia. I love the Rukia character. I always love the design as well.
Rukia doesn't necessarily check my boxes as far as like female leads and stuff goes, but she also checks all of them at the same time. Because I grew up with Rukia, like I've been rooting for Rukia. I know the mad potential Rukia has had. So I love to see it animated. I think they did a fantastic job. Do I think they could have did more in the hype of it all? I think so. Because for me, because I'm a OG day one, watched it when it first went down.
See, I'm watching it now. So
For me, seeing Ichigo, we get Ichigo all day, like how he grinds and stuff like that. Cool. Like that's my boy. Rukia, we get it here and there, even though like she's the start. She is the cat to me. She is like the North Star of Bleach. Like that is all. It all goes down because if Rukia wasn't there at that point in time, this whole thing would have been a whole different scenario. In fact, probably Aizen would have won. That would have been the end of it. So I do appreciate like we build up to this episode. It's all great. Her Bankai, let's go. She's with her brother when it all happens.
That's a whole nother level.
And now keep in mind, brother-in-law, but still like that's her brother. But that being said, Like, I really like, if I don't like to draw out things, you guys know that, but if you're gonna draw out something into at least an episode and a half, give her two with a flashback or something, Rukia deserved just a smidge more. Like, this is happening. This is finally happening. But that being said, it was still, like, for what it was still beautifully animated, did all the things. Like, it was great. Just for the bias of Rukia being such a pivotal character, I think that's classic shonen stuff. Females don't. We've gotten longer episodes for like Rimjaw and all kinds of dudes, like all kinds of dudes. Like the chick just gets like half an episode, you know, like it still was done well, but it's like we really could have made this like amplified into a really fantastical moment.
Rimjaw.
But I do think it was good though. I still think it was great.
Such the
Like,
biggest,
happy to see it.
biggest tease. Oh my god.
You know what? I
Good
agree with you
hours.
because I do like what we got, but I could have did more, man. Because I was okay for someone who's watching the original show, kind of alongside the new show, because I haven't finished it all yet, and I haven't watched the movies. I don't know if those movies like super matter or not as far as like the continuity, but I'll go back and peep those later. But the seeing her brother roll through and be like, "Nah, girl, you got it. Go and do your thing." I was like, "Oh snap, it's real."
If he says it, then you know.
I was like, "It's real," because I was like, at first it seemed like he was going to come through and save her. He was like, "Nah, girl, you got this," and I was like, "Oh snap."
Keep in mind how great. Okay, think about it like this, and why it should have went on a little longer. First of all, we're introduced as Rukia, who like needs help in the very first episode. She passes on the powers. Then she becomes a damsel, and then we see her grow into her own right. We get some flashbacks back when she's like in school and yada 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 yada. We know how her family dynamic works. We know how her big brother works. What happened with her sister. So you have to root. I've never met anyone who doesn't root for Rukia. But the point is, accumulate this Renji, we see that's going on. We see her like start putting in that work. Then she has her stumble, which is natural in shonen. And then, you know, she gets that moment with her brother and him just finally entrusting her to be like, you know what, fly girl, got it, you did well. You know, like that really could have been that could have been a 1 hour special, in my opinion. That could have been two episodes of like, let Rukia get her flowers, because we've seen her go from first episode, I'm dying, here kid, you're Shinigami now, you're the protagonist. Basically, I pass my protagonist powers on to you, up into this moment where this is her moment. And I do think they did a great job. The animation period did great. You're whatever. Like, it still was great. It was a great episode. But imagine if that like really had the depth and breadth of 2 episodes of like, we've seen this girl come from just like, I'm just here to do my job, living out this dude's closet.
Oh,
To this moment, like,
see,
it
right
really
now,
could have been
she's-
fantastic.
For me, she's dead right now. Or no, I think she's clinging on to life right now, because they thought she was dead, but she ain't all the way dead. So, you know, when I saw this, I was like, oh snap, yo, I felt like the inside you from the Last Dragon music was playing. I was like, oh snap, it's all inside you, girl. You got everything. You got the glow.
To fade somebody after the whole Aizen nonsense. That's how I feel. She deserved to really destroy somebody. I love Rukia's design. Like I said, I love that she has jet black hair. She's not like a powder puff. You know, it's like, and it was just, I don't mind Urahime, but I guess when I was watching it, I thought like Ichigo was gonna be feeling Rukia.
Listen, we will not, I have still not healed. That's been my OTP that I'll never let go. Ichigo and Rukia should have been in game from the get-go.
They work together. Like the personalities work, the smart kind of back and forth. That's what I thought. And I don't know, man. Rukia just kind of reminds me of my wife a little bit. She's short, snappy, dark hair.
I appreciate the character.
Where I am now, they still have it in a way where they're still writing it, and I mean, I'm sure you guys probably remember. It's kind of written in a way where it could kind of go either way. Like, he's feeling Orihime, but then every time Rukia come around, you could definitely see him like,
Rukia just made more sense.
Shorty got a little something, you know what I'm saying?
Ichigo's fate.
Oh, yeah,
just
for him.
soften
Okay.
when Rukia
Yes.
walks up. Like Ichigo's whole mood will change from like I don't think it should have been Orihime just because of the fact she I guess put in the work because she liked them longer. I think it was more so about the writing and storytelling and how the characters grew. And I appreciate them having a petite female woman not come off as a lolly, not come off as ditzy. She's mature,
Yeah, she was an
handles
adult.
her
She was
own,
an adult.
and
She
I
was the
don't
adult in the
think
room.
at this point in time it would take a lot of convincing for them to show me where it should be her and Renji either. Like to me, that was very like bro sis, and not in bro sis in like a weird way. Just kind of just like like we
Like
went to
they were
school
just
together.
cool.
We cool. Yeah, there hasn't been enough there. We shall see, but I just know that as someone who's been there from the beginning, I never quite got on board with how the ships ended up as far as that goes. But whatever. Maybe I will get convinced as the episodes go on.
I feel like Orihime and Chad would have been a great couple. But I mean, I don't know.
You
if
know
Chad-
what?
It was supposed to be Orihime and Uryu.
Really?
Or that too. I can see that because they both kind of, because he seemed just like he had a moment that he cared about her. He was like,
In the same way that Rukia kind of grounds and softens Ichigo,
Yeah.
Orihime was that for Uryu. Like
Oh.
he's someone and now that you've seen like his backstory, right, how he grew up or whatever, it's like, wow, someone affectionate to give him a piece of bread and be there, whatever, and still have spiritual awareness that he got privy to. Like Orihime really could have been that grounder that helps him from like going too far because he just has that darkness in him.
this is true.
I that's where I was at, and that's where I was at for a long time, especially because we see it with her in Ukuria or whatever. It's a similar dynamic, right? Where it's like, I'm dark, don't know what to do, I'm lonely, didn't really have anything around me. Now we know what happens with
I'm
him.
lonely.
But like he was a little too like not quite emo-ish, but he went to a black parade at some point. Type of deal. Ryu definitely attended the black parade, and Orihime was there to kind of say, "Hey, let's go home." So, I mean, neither here nor there. This is something we're watching that we already know there's some in-game stuff that cannot be affected, but it is interesting to keep watching it and still feeling the same way. I find kind of interesting. Like I haven't been convinced yet on some of the plot points, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, I was just glad to see that sort of like realization or that respect level finally come through. But I agree. I could have had a longer episode or like going to the next episode, because when he cut through the I guess the fear, kind of the scarecrow villain, when he cut through that, I was like, oh man, he gonna start roasting her. Here we go. He gonna start acting like, she beneath him again. And then he was like, yo, you got this, roast this fool. And I was like, oh snap. I was like, yeah. I was like, that's what I've been needing. Even though I still got to go back and watch him be mean for a while, but at least I know, in the future, they're gonna get together. So I was like, this is good. Because in the past, what I'm watching in the past, he just beat the brother, and it was kind of sad the way he beat. He had to do the brother like that. But I mean, the brother was trying to. He was a little arrogant, so I guess he had to take him out with all the eyeballs and stuff. You know what? This is another eyeball character that he done beat up. Well, I mean, technically he didn't beat him up. He just came through and be like, "Yo, sis, you got this." Break him down. But see, man, the eyeball characters up against Rukia and/or can't think of his name now. Byakuya or whatever. Like, look, just if you see them, just be like, all right, man. You know what? White flag. There it is. I'm over. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna fight y'all. But I love it. I love that we got Ichigo, homie, going straight past the sound barrier to get down them steps. Much props, much love to him. Now, I'm gonna throw this one to Mark Dub, because I think Mark Dub has seen this one and is enjoying the flyness of a brand new superhero. All right, just started out today. All right, this superhero just came out this episode. All right, homie got a full Scuba Gooden Jr. up in here. All right, this man
like a weekend right after Aquaman. Now we get
Whew.
I'll allow you to continue your intro because you was really killing it.
Yo, Scuba Gooden over here. Yo, I gotta give him his props, man. He said, "Look, I need to be a superhero, just like when I was a kid." Then he was like, "Yo, I know exactly what to do." You know what? That scuba gear, it was a perfect idea, and he kind of looked sweet in it too.
Yeah.
I was like, I see you, Akira. You know, I mean, old girl was still hating on him, but I mean, hey, look, haters gonna hate. He looks sweet.
Man, she's such a hater, man.
I mean, she wasn't necessarily wrong, but he wasn't wrong either. I loved it, man.
I like when he was like, "Woman, shut your mouth. I'm up in here trying to save you from a shark. You over here
I'm trying
complaining."
to save you from an undead shark, and this is what you call gratitude.
With like 6 legs.
Boy,
or
I
something.
tell you.
I wouldn't say he said shut her mouth, but he said, look, I want to do it because I want to do it. Now sit up and get saved. Like, I'm going to save you because you mean something to me, woman.
Shut
I'm trying
up.
to holler.
You want to be saved.
I'm trying to holler.
At the end, though, you saw them cheeks. You saw them cheeks when he was like, "Yeah, girl." And then even his boy Kencho came through with
Kencho,
all right.
Say,
First
bro,
of all,
yo,
shut-
look.
what is
before we-
Kencho? Why does Kencho's solution is for
being
everything
butt naked?
is to get butt ball naked.
But it worked, though.
It always does.
You almost
It's
got it.
almost like Riley throwing a chair in the boondocks. It's gonna always cause a fight.
Yep.
Showing your ass is the solution. Literally and figuratively. Figuratively.
Mike, you said something during the last segment. I don't watch Bleach because I'm so far behind y'all. But you said something about the last dragon, and now
Yep.
I have it playing in my head. Like I was thinking to myself about when Bruce Leroy first started glowing, and sure enough was like,
Yep.
It was in the real emotional part of "You are the last dragon. You possess
he had
the
it.
power of the glow." I love that
Yo,
part.
he had it, man.
Boom, 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 boom.
And Akira
I'm
made
sorry,
me
y'all.
happy, man. He made me happy. I was like, yo,
Akira,
he
spirit,
goes.
bro.
He's a go getter.
Akira,
I love Akira, bro.
I love that cat, man.
It's
Even
just
though
fact that
I mean, he had the risk
he
assessment chick. She what's her name? Kazuma. I can't. remember.
Mizuki.
Mizuki is
hold
the
on,
last. We gonna
And
get
Ninja,
it.
if you know, holla at us. Let us know. I think it's Mizuki, but I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Keep rolling up.
But yeah, man, like she be sunning him and making him look real silly. But at the same time, he was like, "Nah, look, I don't need to cut it out with all the reason stuff. Just know,
Yep.
I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to save you. You saying you don't want to become a zombie? Let me save you, woman."
this is the episode that I've been telling Mark for about a couple of weeks since I read it, and I know I couldn't help myself. I'm like, believe it or not, y'all, it only gets better from here. Like, Zombie is so good, it gets better. The shark thing, because the shark thing was at Anime Expo or San Diego Comic Con. They had the big shark, and I'm like, what the hell? I like that looks like Zom colors. I don't understand the shark. I don't know why there's a shark representing Zom. Now you know, folks, why this shark was there, because it's like that key figure thing that is kind of just like, this is insane. And just Kensho and him timing of comedic duo. Because with Kensho was like, "You are hard to please, woman." His face was like, she was like
dude,
ripping it to him. He was like,
she's
he was
super
riding for his,
argumentative and hard to please.
the way he was about to ride for his boy, and the way Kira looked so sad. He was like, "Oh, my heart." But bruh, just the action of it, for a series to get comedy timing down, mix of horror, comedy, horror, and just action, and just madness, madcap stupidity going. And I just love that Kira, like, man, I wanted to be a superhero. So you see where this, again, we see another piece of Akira's spirit that got taken away, that he helps people, and that he actually do like to do that, and he's not doing it for his selfish purposes. And I love when he
was like
said,
a hero don't need. He was like a hero don't need the accolades.
but she did say, you know, I mean, it was played up for jokes when she like, yeah, you know, psychologically people only want to be heroes to satisfy themselves. And then you think about shows like The Boys, whatever. She's not wrong, but it was funny how it just was like to do that. But then he kind of like,
there's also people that just genuinely care about folks.
But yeah, like I said,
that sign up to help.
I'm heroic.
Akira was like, but when Akira said to her, would you
also say that about nurses? They're heroes. Would you say that about firemen? They're heroes. It's like she's just hating the hate.
But I'm saying let's not tear her down.
Cool.
Let's not tear her down.
Let's not tear her down like she tears
everybody else down.
Because
I'm telling you, the character comes around real fast. But he won the day where he said, "It doesn't matter. You are precious to me too." And
look, man, let me
that line right there.
Let me tell y'all brothers down there, you know what I'm saying, listen to this podcast at home. You know what I'm saying? Take your woman's hands, look her in the eyes, be like, "You precious to me, girl."
He told Akira is so honest. He is earnest, honest, and heartfelt. And that's why you're rooting for this character to live in the midst of all this death. And he got to truly live that day. Now he paid for it. He got bit. He was like, "Oh, it don't break the chain, but I feel the pain." And Kenshin was like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, it's like you know it's still gonna hurt. Like they're still biting down with like all their pressure.
I mean, a human mouth is still, you know, our chompas hurt you. Yeah. If a person bites you,
look, man. I mean, realistically, that shark probably generates so many pounds of pressure per square inch. He would have. His arms would have been jelly.
Yeah, like when he got hit by that tail or whatever and flew across the room, I was like, he's still human, right? Because are we gonna go with this? All right, we're going with this. All right, no problem.
Anime, but even though we know she was tearing him down, but I love how they work together. She's like, look, he needs that. He needs somebody who can think on their feet while running fast as hell. I love that camera shot.
Kensho is that dude, man. Kensho was like, "But y'all were such a good team." I was like, "Thank you, Kensho."
You're
a real one, man.
That's an ultimate wing, man. Because you can see the little touches when they walk in. It's like, "Hey, you gonna slide with my boy Akira? You know, come with us, man. Slide with my boy right here." Like Kensho ain't got to worry about it. He be meeting women in the middle of apocalypse.
Kensho is a closer.
Straight.
Kensho be doing his thing.
Kensho one of them cats.
I'm like, how
you be like, "Where's Kensho? Hey, where's my cousin?"
Kensho got it.
Homie was in the department store playing Isley Brothers, chilling. Like everybody else was like, I'm like, "Yo, what was like? Where is he at?" And they're like, "Oh, okay, he doing his thing."
It's productive, dog. That's what
not productive.
It's productive.
That is hilarious. Cool.
When Akira put his fist
and
on
he
the
is
ground,
going to work, so he is definitely productive. Yes.
Oh boy, but well, I'll say this: when he put his fist on the ground, when Akira put his fist, because he was struggling to get up, when he did that hero thing, where he put his fist on the ground, like, "Oh, you know it's real." I was like, "Oh, here we go."
Boy came the scuba Power Ranger, bro. He hit a whole, what you call it? What's the term?
Like a scuba common rider or something like that.
And he did it. Like, I do like the color of it. The mask is goofy, but I love the color, how it fits on him.
But
and
honestly, I wasn't even mad at the mask. I was like, you know what? I can roll with this.
And he did the mannerisms so fast.
Yeah.
And he jumped into character so hard. I loved every bit of it. And that they can take this premise and basically do a Takososu, or however you say the word, like Power Ranger parody joke in the midst of all of this, while feeding the thing. Like, this is perfection of a action horror comedy anime. And these two, I'm ready to go on the road trip with them, you know. Yep. And shout out to Akira saying, "You know what, man, I ain't seen my family in 7 years. I am done with Tokyo. It has been beautiful. I gotta go." Yep. And I love that he's having these realizations every year, that he's getting his life back, his spirit back. And I'm telling you, it gets better the next couple of episodes. I ain't gonna spoil nothing, but I can't wait to see it animated. Like, this show, I haven't read but like maybe a couple more chapters. I can't wait to see where this goes. I don't know where it ends on this season. I can't wait. I'm along for the ride, man.
All right, okay. Well, shouts to Kensho, but he's not the only wingman this week. All right, because I gotta give it to your boy. That's right, Jimmy Jam. All right, because at the end of the Superman episode, you saw all three of them together, and your boy
Hey, man,
slid off.
Jimmy's so dope, man.
He slid off, and he was like, "Go do your thing, dog." And he slid.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna let you finish. But
Oh,
before
wow.
we go on to Superman, do not watch Zom live action. Zom 100 live action. Do not.
Oh damn.
Don't do it. Don't do it to
Uh-oh.
yourself.
Started it.
I just
Alright,
wanted to make
cool.
sure.
All right, cool.
I fell asleep on it a couple of times. I started it and I liked what I saw when I started, but
No.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No
Not wor-
redeeming qualities. Not worth your 2
Not
hours.
worth 2 hours. Why
Yeah.
they hit?
I saw it was 2 hours, and I was like, I don't know.
Look, may I ask a question? If you watched it all, what chapter did it correlate to the chapter?
It is with the shark stuff.
Okay, that's what I figured is going to
But it tells some things out of order. It
What?
actually changes some plot points, some major
Okay.
plot points.
Mm.
For instance, you know how in anime, in manga, I'm assuming, he's in a convenience store when he meets old girl.
Yeah.
That's not how they meet.
How they meet?
And also, not only that, he's like there to get beer or whatever. Like, that's not what ends up happening. Is they meet later than that, and she's not as bad ASS as she is in the anime. Like he ends up helping her out in the beginning, and you know how she has a proclivity to sweets. Instead, she has a weakness for sake or alcohol. He's just there, like, just getting. No, he's there to get like seasoning for his like ramen or whatever. Like, so he's there for like salt. He's there for like salt and like sesame oil or something like that. And she's like, "Oh, that's luxury items." But then, like, she sees a bottle of sake and starts like gulping.
Okay. I got a
Like,
question.
it's bad. So
When they show the
That's
sake,
a weird change to make.
did they
Yeah.
really show the? Did they show the label of sake? Maybe that was
Yes.
product placement. Yeah, they got paid probably.
but that's not. That doesn't make it better because
But
it's
it
I
could
know
have
it
been
don't.
him
sweet.
because he
Oh, no,
wanted
no,
to
I
be
agree with
there,
you. I'm
so
just saying
it could
they
have been
did-
him. He could
It
have
could
had
have
that.
been the product placement for him. Yeah, he could have gone out
Yeah.
to get sake. And like how he meets the couple when he's going
Like, this is
down
weird.
the gutter thing. He meets them way too early. They
What?
don't die. In fact, they show up later at the aquarium.
Huh?
And like when he quits with his a-hole boss, he quits at the end of the movie instead of at the beginning. And
man.
I would say at least one more major plot. There's a lot, but one more major plot.
Wait, he
difference.
quits at the beginning of the movie.
No, he
No, at the
quits
end.
at the end. Separate.
What
Also,
All right, you know what? Yeah.
also he's only at his job for a year instead of 3 years.
What?
And his crush at work, keep in mind only a year, not 3 years. You don't really get the idea that she's having an affair or whatever until like right before he goes to confess. And so it's awkward. It's
Can't-
awkward in the sense that he doesn't find out that she's fooling around until he goes to confess.
So can I
Versus
ask
in
this?
anime, you know beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just say I don't want to watch this concurrent. Now you have convinced me. I'm not touching this until
Yeah, don't do
the
it.
anime season. I might watch it. Is it good for like a
No.
crappy?
She
Wow,
said-
she just said no. A crappy Halloween watch.
You can
Emphatic
watch
no.
in a world where Korean zombie shows exist. You
You know
can
what?
watch
You're right.
Sweet Home. You can
You're
watch
right.
All of Us Are Dead. You
Train
can watch
to Busan.
Train to you can watch a
You know what?
gazillion other.
Train to
You're
Busan
right.
1 and
You're
2.
right.
Yeah, you don't do it.
So I'll
And
take
it takes
your word.
and all the comedic components are gone and they're
No!
shown differently.
No.
So the zombies are not funny in the same way. The Technicolor, of course, is going like it doesn't have, and it's just too much. It's not good even as a zombie movie. There are better zombie movies out there.
So what about Alice in Borderland? Watch that instead.
That's not really zombie. It's just more that it's Death Games.
Okay.
Not a zombie. That's not a zombie show.
Okay. But still, watch that instead.
I mean, I watched the first season. I never touched the second one. It was so good, but yeah, that's more Death
And
Game.
what show is that? Because I'm trying
Alice
to
in Borderland.
Oh,
Alice in Borderland. Yeah, that's not zombie. That's not zombie.
That's more of a death game.
It's
That's
really
a death
game.
game show.
Yeah, it's Death Game.
But I did watch the first season. The first season was straight flames for me. But I know there's a second season, but I've been so busy I haven't been able to watch it.
I'm the same way. I've heard decent things about it. It's just one of those things where it's like you watch the first one, you're like, yeah, let's go, and then by the time the second one drops, like something else is going on, and you're just like
with me and Harley Quinn.
But All of Us Are Dead was All of Us Are Dead was straight fire.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
I'll take your word for it.
It's funny because All of Us
Sweet
Are
Home
Dead
is also good.
All of Us Are Dead.
I've never heard of Sweet Home, but All of Us Are Dead is considered a Korean drama. I would not consider this show a drama. I mean, yeah.
They call pretty much any Korean live action K-drama right now. They still haven't quite divvied up the genres.
Yeah, because I'm like, this is not a drama. In my view, a drama does not have zombies.
Whether
as
it's
the main
horror,
driving plot force.
Whether it's
Can we call it a genre?
horror, mystery, action,
A
romance, or comedy, it's going to be listed as a K-drama. Just in general. Yeah, they haven't quite gotten into the. That's kind of like remember when anime first started getting popular? It was still just anime. Like that's where that's where Korean shows are right now. It's still just kind of all
Home. Yeah, I remember this. I watched it. It was alright. I could rock with it. Sweet Home was decent.
It's better
they had
than
a couple cool scenes in the hallways and stuff. Yeah, Sweet Home was decent.
The manhwa,
it had like a Resident
Evil
Evil kind of idea with it.
Yeah.
So I can roll with Sweet Home.
Still better than Zom 100 live action. That is not. Even if I had never watched the anime and watched the movie, it would have not been good. It's just objectively bad. It's objectively bad. Like Netflix, they don't even get to other. They only have like 13 items on the list by the time the movie's over. He has his little cookout on the roof by himself. Like he doesn't even have his homeboy. He meets Kensho later, and
Bruh,
it doesn't.
Like, what are
the
y'all
big giant
doing?
scene of him being a comedian and them jumping on the roof and all that. That's not in there at all. I guess a lot of it was budget stuff. Like fire hose zombie with the fire is not a thing. The explosion, it's just not a thing.
Why even call this 100? What are these?
Like, if you ain't got the budget to do it right, just don't do it.
They made it knowing people watching the anime will watch.
The Saki people must have paid a lot. They were like, we got that money for you.
This is what if you're not going to follow the anime, and don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those people that think you should follow something note for note, because it's like, if you're going to do that, just watch the anime. But if you were going to deviate this far, why not just make it Zom 100, but someone else in Tokyo, and then they can have a passing encounter with Akira. So this could be like someone else, named, Andrea. But of course, the Japanese version of Andrea, whatever. And she comes in contact with Akira, maybe on the bus or something later, but she goes on about her business. Because if you're going to change this much stuff, it's just a different story in that world.
It's
which
like
I'm cool to
Walking
watch.
Dead instead of Walking Dead. It's like the California people instead of the people in the South. It's like a whole other thing.
Oh yeah, when they tried to do, what was it, Fear the Walking Dead and all that stuff.
When they tried to stretch out an idea and beat it into the ground and stop people like Rob Guillory getting their show produced. But anyway, we'll move on.
Yeah, you know what? Rest in peace, Zom 100 movie. Rest in peace.
Just keep watching the anime. Just keep watching the anime.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rob. Rob was gonna write me and Coop into one of the stories. We was gonna be on the show.
We was gonna get our face eaten off by mutant crawfish. That issue is out. I would have loved it. I wanted to see it happen.
That'd be crazy.
My face eaten off by mutant crawfish.
That is scary, man.
I want to eat a mutant crawfish.
That just sounds
50 foot.
Look,
sounds crazy.
I don't care if you put the right amount of Zatarans on him. That mutant crawfish going down, boy. It ain't gonna work out well for him.
Have a nice little funk to it.
Green funk.
All right, so let's go back to my boy Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? My boy Jimmy, holding it down for Clark. I actually like his demeanor now, because you know, at the end of the episode, Clark got, you know, he saved Jimmy and Lois, and Jimmy was like, "All right, man, I gotta go, because you know, there's things." And he was like, "Do your thing, dog." Like that was nice.
He got it, man. He on point, bro.
Man,
that was
like
nice. You know what I'm saying? That's,
how many
that's what you're
times
supposed to do.
how many times has the friend unintentionally, sometimes and intentionally, sometimes just threw a bucket of salt in something?
All the
Jimmy was
time.
like, "No, man, you know what? I hear my homework calling. Y'all have a good night."
Yeah, man.
Did he like
got
winks at Clark real quick?
Like, dude,
Yeah,
like, bro,
like you
handle
know
up,
what it
bro.
is.
Yeah, man. Again, we like this, y'all. We like to see. Thank God for characters being able to express emotional, I don't know, love, like feelings. You know,
Yep.
in a realistic sense, in a
Well,
fantastical world.
you know, they got characters that are fully fleshed out. Like you see all their insecurities. Like Clark is freaking Superman, and he's still super gun shy about what to say and do around Lois. Man, it's cute.
'Cause he's a big
But
Kansas
They-
country
he
boy.
broke out his shell this time though. He was like, I
Yeah.
love you, girl.
They hit a very good sweet spot overall this episode,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
particularly with Lois and Clark's dynamic, letting them be the center, but also know when to not let them be the center, and letting the dialogue speak for itself and be short and heartfelt and still lighthearted to fit the rest of the parameters of the show. They finally hit it, because before then it was a little just too much like, oh my gosh, I just don't want to do this every week. So they finally started, you know, kind of, you know, adding not necessarily nuance to it, but just letting that breathe a little bit more, because it's obvious. We know it's one of those things where you know the ship. It's not like there's some weird universe where Lois and Clark don't end up together, right? We know it's them, so it's like we're moving forward with it. It's happening. It's on pace. We're comfortable now, so that felt good.
They pulled back enough, and I love the little thing where she's like, you know what? Let's start over. Hi, I'm Lois. I'm Clark. Let's do this.
Well,
Like, good job.
I love how Lois got roasted by the Loises.
Hey, they had to let her know. They had
They
to let her
roasted
know
her good.
real good.
Like, you are the least of us.
They said you are a participation trophy, Lois. Like,
Damn.
imagine being
That
participation
was
trophy
cold.
Barbie. That's like being stereotype Barbie, man.
that
Stereotypical
was
Barbie.
cold, man.
Like,
Like, you think you the center of your universe, and you just a
they had to let her know one time, which is fine, because I don't mind us getting this base level version of Lois where she's gonna do her best. But
Yep.
you know, we've seen some great Loises in the past, and I do like all the nods. There was a lot of nods and Easter eggs.
Shout
this
out
episode.
to the nod to Black Lois in the background when they was going through the Hall of Loises.
At first, I thought they were going to make Black Lois be, but then it ended up being Gender Bent Jimmy, which I thought was hilarious. Like, they checked so many trope boxes, but it wasn't overkill. Like, we had Gender Bent Lois, we had Gender Bent Jimmy, like, we had multiverse stuff, we had Easter eggs, we had
Shout
romance. Like, it was good.
To the villain, you know, for all of my Dragon Ball Z lovers, they gave you a little nod where I can't say his name. Say his name for me, Mark. I'm gonna mess it up.
Chibi Beerus. Chibi
He
Beerus.
was
Spitlick.
Mr. Like to make him look like that.
Mixes Spitlick.
Little Plitlick or whatever.
Yeah.
They say they're saying Mixes Spitlick, but
Mixy.
when I was a kid,
they-
he was Mr. Mixelplick.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
Mixelplick was how they said it on the old shows.
I
So,
just like that they just say Mixy. They're like,
Yeah.
we ain't about to say all this, Mixy. And then
Well,
he looks
it's almost like a disrespect by calling him Mixy, because he didn't
Yeah.
seem like he liked it when she said it.
I mean, he's a chaos gnome god of just destruction and foolishness, and whatever he does from that thing. And I guess they didn't go deep into
Not Chibi
whatever.
Beerus. Chibi Weiss. Chibi Weiss.
Yes.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Chief
he's
Wheat.
basically Q from Star Trek.
Yeah, just there to mess with you and to get laughs off of you.
This type of character is, I said in previous episodes, we were missing some characters that kind of created more dynamics and force dynamics between characters, this is exactly what this show needed. Someone who's going to be some type of catalyst that makes other things happen between characters and kind of tongue-in-cheek say, hey, I know this is what's happening because I know what happens, and us as an
And he didn't lose at all. Like, he just
audience, we know what these dynamics could be, is exactly what the show needed. And he comes off in a certain way that's still lovable, it's fun, it's comedic. He brought in that WB Saturday morning slapstick comedic angle. Like, they literally were playing Looney Tunes like sounds at some point, like the little like orchestra in the background. And I was like, yes, a chuckle. You got it out of me. Like, I get what you're, and some of his expressions were anime and WB cartoon at the same time. It was very like Tiny Toon Adventures. Like,
he was in that mix of like where Teen Titans was at.
What's what's the names from Tiny Toons? Maximilian, whatever, Maxa, whatever, and Elvira, Mira, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about, maybe not. But those type of characters,
no, I definitely remember.
those chaotic, just shit, that sheer chaotic shenanigans of WB cartoons. It's like, if that's what y'all are going to do, like, do it. Like, that slapstickness is hilarious, and I think it needed. I think it was needed.
In the little hat that then it became this crown, and he looked really, you know, a little terrifying with the third eye. He opened his third eye and got a little demonish. But the fact that he's just still like, he's like you said, likable. And he's like, I ain't take the jail. But he still got what he wanted to get Lois this thing that makes the bigger conflict maybe later in the season or maybe next season.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, he's like,
they definitely have him like doing almost like the Loki God of Mischief thing.
Yep.
And it's cool.
Yeah,
I like this portrayal of Mxy. That's the way I say it. I'm sorry. And back in the day, you had to make him say his name backwards to get him to go away.
Because he can just kind of do anything.
And
right?
it was Clip and Skim. I can't even say it. Clip and Skim. Something like that.
He turned Clark into a crab just at will. He talking about
man.
He's like,
he's a fourth-dimensional being, and so, or is it fifth dimension? I think fourth-dimensional being. So like, things he can do appear. There's an old saying. I think it's Isaac Asimov who said, the more advanced your technology becomes, the more it starts to appear like magic, and that's pretty much what it is with like fourth-dimensional beings. Primitive beings can only perceive it as magic or miracles because they can't understand the science behind it, and so that's kind of how it's been described that Mxy's powers work.
Because to be honest, I'm shocked that once he got his hat, he didn't just snap him out of reality. To be honest, but I guess
that's where that
where
chaos.
Was the fun in that?
That's where the chaos comes in. Exactly.
Where's the fun in that? Yeah, he's a chaos god.
Because he's really there to just like it. I mean, at least the way he's come off in the there's a couple of versions of him that have come off that are like truly nefarious, but most versions of him come off as like, honestly, I'm just bored, and like there's nothing
he did say
else
that,
to
didn't he?
Do
yeah, I think he did say he was bored.
You know, it's like there's nothing else to do but like mess with you guys because like you guys think y'all are great, and I mean you kind of are, but I'm so far ahead of you. I can like toy around and have a lot of fun.
Because if he was truly just like, I'm boring evil, he could just reveal Clark's identity or kill him or just snap him out of reality. Or
there
kill
have been
Lois.
some malevolent ones, and there have been times where his true form was shown and it was supposed to be terrifying. You know, but yeah, I like this version of him.
I mean,
like I just small little guy just floating around like
kind of like
nothing.
Kind of like the Beyonder in Marvel when he's bored, when he doesn't like be evil, he just like screws with you, or he kind of gets in the way, like or sometimes he needs your help.
Supreme Kai.
Yeah,
I was like on the naughty list.
I will say, as far as like different versions of characters and stuff, this week I got to see two different versions of how naive Clark Kent could be in Harley Quinn and in Superman for very different reasons, and both were very entertaining because I do like, if we're going to see a younger Clark Kent. I'd rather him be more naive than anything. Yes, we know he's smart and can do all the things, and he's that guy. But whenever he bumps his head, letting that be just because he is just inordinately good, which is, like you have that whole argument about is humanity good or whatever, but this guy tends to be at his core. So in Superman, in this episode, we saw, he was naive because as soon as Mxy was like, oh, Lois is in danger, like, dude was like, say less. He had very little more in him to, and what's weird though is that him and Jimmy could both be naive. So I'm glad that we had naive Jimmy one episode, naive, like, I don't want to see them both do it at the same time. Neither here nor there.
not at the same time. They can't do.
Like, yeah.
Like,
it's funny because Jimmy's naivete kind of worked out for him.
In Harley Quinn, in this case, in Harley Quinn this episode, we see Clark Kent walking around doing like just interviewing stuff for a villain convention on the moon. And what was it? This episode, last episode. Anyway, neither here nor there. But he's kind of like every time he sips like coffee or like has like a little wine or something, he's just like he basically goes like into this mode, just like, oh, everything's just great. I'm happy to go lucky. His pupils dilate, and he's just like legit, like it's just like a non-factor. And then towards the end, when things go sideways, like he's like, oh, I'm here to save the day, and then he can't, and then he's like, oh. There's been small traces of kryptonite and all this stuff, hasn't there? and then he just walks off. He's just like, oh, that explains it. He just walks off. He's like, yep, okay, you got me. So one thing about watching both of these WB animated shows, despite their differences, it's just like an interesting way to see how the same studio is kind of doing some storytelling with some of the same characters.
They're great in animation, man. Else.
Yeah, they look, animation. They
I'm
do
hoping
it right.
I'm hoping for Blue Beetle. I'm trying to be positive. I don't know why
Blue Beetle.
I want my
Thursday,
boy.
Y'all.
I want my boy to have this big break, go off as well as
Miguel.
possible.
Yeah, me too.
We rooting for you, Zolo. We rooting for Zolo, but
even
really
though
rooting for you.
this,
I don't.
it
Does it
doesn't
feel
even
like
matter anymore because all of it is kind of washed away. Unless this thing is a huge hit. If this thing messes around and makes like $1 billion, he'll be in the new stuff. Like,
First of all, it won't make it regardless because it's WB DC live action.
Right.
Second of all, with the strike and everything going on and
they can't even promote
lackluster promotion, it's just it's very unfortunate. He even posted a video. He was like, "Man, this sucks, but here we are."
Hey man, I will say this right now. Give Zolo another shot. Even if it ain't WB superhero studios, when y'all get y'all ish together and quit trying to steal from people. We like Zolo. That boy earned it. Give it
because
to him.
This was
Give
his
another shot.
big like step up to the big leagues. Like yo, I was on this show. I was real popular. I got my chance on the big screen.
Yeah.
And here we go and strike.
If this does not work out for him, put him in Marvel. He's got hands for days, and he's young enough. Absolutely.
He's got all the tools, man.
X-Men.
I mean, whether it's Nightcrawler, whatever you want to do.
Put him as Sunspot. There's your Sunspot right there.
Yeah, you can be Sunspot.
You said Nightcrawler. I'm like, dang.
I'll take it. Nightcrawler, Sunspot, somebody with curly hair. I don't care.
The stuff they doing in X-Men right now, bruh, like the Children of the Vault, or I guess now they're calling themselves the Children of the Tomorrow. Like, yo, the mutants are in trouble right now, like in some serious, real trouble. But that's a whole other thing. But I'll go ahead and throw it around. I'm gonna throw it to let me see. I'll throw it to Mark Dub first. Mark Dub, final thoughts, and where can they find you?
Okay, so I mean, look, I love Zom 100. This show, Coop told me, because he read ahead. He said, bro, it's just going to get better every week. I love stuff that does that. And I was treated this week. I think Superman is getting better every week, too. It's just no filler with either of these shows. Or if it's filler, don't feel like filler.
Nah, it's not filler.
Everything's great.
Filler.
It's a good time to be alive in anime it's bad time if you have favorite studio projects, because Lord of mercy, man, pay these people.
This
Pay
is
'em.
our last episodes on Secret.
This is, man, yo, it's really killing me. Like, yo, I didn't even think. I was like, y'all, I was reminding y'all, Blue Beetle comes out this week.
The hype.
I totally forgot, but they
Turtles.
couldn't promo it, and
Turtles
it's
took
a
the hype
shame.
of Blue Beetle.
It is a shame, bro. Zavlov, the messed up dude. You make $500 million a year. Last year you made $500 million. Pay these people. I don't want to hear always like I'm on the side of the actors. Well, pay them, punk. I would slap Zavlov.
Man,
I slap
I mean,
him to sleep.
it's already been proven through like financial models that like when you pay people more, like it's not like you're gonna be broke. It's not like you're like
Sure, they just
the
made $1 billion
idea
off of
that
Barbie. They just made $1 billion off of Barbie. They got money.
yeah, trust me, because I think sometimes they want you to believe that like, hey, if we paid writers more and actors more, or if we paid our like stunt performers more, we'd all be it just crumble to
Whatever.
nothing. We just disintegrate. It's like
You just
no,
make
bro.
one less project or two, or have a couple of less executives. That's all.
Yeah, and like and actually y'all could probably still have those executives. You just wouldn't have this crazy slush fund y'all play with.
Like,
But I mean,
y'all,
it would still be crazy. Instead
they
of like,
do this.
instead
The
of
rich do this
$900 million
all the
of
time,
slush money, you'll have 800 million. Like,
The rich do this all the time. Donald Trump always brags about how rich he is, and he is asking for money to pay for his legal defense. You a billionaire, dude.
yo, he put a GoFundMe out in that piece.
Mike, I mean, what
A
they
straight
told
up GoFundMe.
Mark, what they told me in banking, it's always nice to use somebody else's money.
Yeah,
That's like a
ain't gonna
standard
be me,
saying.
sucker.
True. I've heard that many times. Yes. Man, look.
Shell game out here, man.
Right.
It is.
Go ahead,
So-
Mark. My bad. Go ahead.
So where
Sorry.
y'all can find me? I'm Mark Dub 44 on that Twitter thing. I be
Mhm.
on there occasionally. I'm Mark Dub on IG, and even if y'all don't see no activity, I be there commenting on y'all stuff. And if y'all looking for me in the streets, ask for Mark Wallace. Say no, not that one, the cute one, and you'll find me.
Oh boy! All right, let me throw it over to the Kunoichi of the year. We're
My
glad
favorite
that
Kunoichi.
we're glad that she's breaking down the Harley Quinns and also letting us know not to watch Zone 100 on Netflix because it just ain't good.
This
It's
part
just-
is proof positive that I have the best friends.
man.
I said it once before. I said it again. I got the best friends. Y'all the
He's
best,
saving
man.
you, bro, because that Avatar live action. I saved you from Avatar live action.
Hey, bro, you did.
To go on our pod to even announce. That's why, bro. When you late in the game, just ask, bro. Just ask. We don't want to put that on pod.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. But anyway,
Look, y'all
Ninja,
was gonna talk
please.
about it on the pod. Coop stopped it. Was like, wait, stop. Hit the stop
Hell
button. No,
no.
sir. No, sir. We will not go forward with this. You go watch Avatar.
You go do that on your own pod. You go do that on the hip hop pod and put that bad information out.
He said we ain't even going to talk about the man. That's cold.
Our credibility been shot.
Anyway, Ninja, tell them where they can find you. Final thoughts and tell them where they can find you.
First of all, I would like to say I'm not above a hate critique, as you guys know. So if y'all wanted to talk bad about live action Avatar, y'all could have. That would have been your prerogative.
Now,
But
he was
that
gonna talk
being
good
said,
about it.
Well,
Oh no.
well, we can't all have good taste 100% of the time.
This is true.
But I do taste good 100% of the time. Carol.
Oh my god.
It's a family show.
Jesus.
Y'all, no, look, I put out a match with my fingertips, and I was like, does anybody else smell bacon? It was me. I am delicious.
I don't know
Carry
where this
on.
is going.
Well, I know what happens when there's a zombie apocalypse. I know who I'm throwing out first because they can eat your pork and beans self all day. That being said, I am Ninja Summer Cosplay at the Ninja Cosplay on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever fine books are sold. I think I might have had a Threads at some point. Who knows? But you're more than welcome to try it. And if it ain't me, it ain't me. And glad to be here as always.
Word up.
Damn,
All right,
Ninja.
Coop, drop some knowledge on us.
I know I do some final thoughts. I'm gonna try to be quick with this, but I want to give some love to. I know Ronan Kenshin. I know you don't care, but I care. Shout out to Gamma Ray, Ronan Kenshin and Oshinoko. It's not a slice of life, but it feel my drama and whatever else you want to call about idols and entertainment industry. I did not think I was gonna fall in love with it like that. The first episode was a whole movie. I love the premise. I love the art. It's actually done by the same people that Kaguya-sama. As Mark know, I love the hell out of Kaguya-sama. So the art and everything did it. I highly recommend it if you want something that isn't, action or different that. But long story short, it is reincarnation deep into the idol industry and acting industry of Japan that is also soon to be a murder mystery whodunit. That's going to be it is a wild premise, but it does, before it touches on some things, goes deep into the trouble and the mental drama that a lot of actors and stuff go. Like the voice, I watched it in English. I didn't, because I had the English version, because since I did not watch it, it's a spring anime, but it fits right in time to binge it. I wouldn't probably like it week to week, but to binge it all the way through, and it's not done. Another season will come because it's still got, the chaos, the cause of what it's about is still out there, but different. Just look. I like the look of it. And if you're really big into idol music or care about any of that, sure. But the main character, yeah, he's working on being a light junior. He ain't close there yet, but he's gonna get there. Like, he might wind up being it might be like a tragic backstory, but it's some tragedy in it. Like, yeah, man, entertainment.
Yeah, bro. When you said that, you scared me a little bit. I was like, ooh.
Oh, there's a couple of look. It started off with a murder. It's like I said reincarnation, so somebody got to die. So
somebody got to die.
Somebody got to die. In fact, a death and a sick child died, and they both are reincarnated. And this ain't to really spoil it. This is just how it starts off. The doctor of the sick child, who the child was, she was like 12 or 13. She was a big idol fan of this like 16-year-old idol. The idol was hiding her pregnancy like Janet Jackson had to do back in the day. That's a true thing.
Oh, snap.
So she had to hide her.
Took it back.
So her doctor, who was like, he was like, this disillusioned dude, and he wound up being a fan of the idol because of the sick girl. She died before him, but then one of her sick fans who found out she was pregnant killed the doctor. Then they were reincarnated as her twins. So that's how it starts. I'm like, oh, you got me. Okay, this is weird. It ain't just a straight regular idol show. But then it falls into the premise of that. But he's like basically only joining the entertainment industry so he can dig out who killed him and killed his mother. Like, so he's going to eventually get darker and darker, but it doesn't go too dark. It's kind of just setting the things. So his sister wanted to be an idol because her body failed her young. So he's like a part of the management for her group that their mom was in. So they took the name of that. So it's like, if if you like documentaries or like R&B groups and other these groups, it got the fringes of that. Like, you'll get it from all these documentaries that we grew up in. So you'll see like the kind of behind the scenes and how social media tear people up. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. I say I highly recommend it. Oshinoko, I see why it's a hit. People went crazy over it. Ronan Kenshin, not probably a hit, but for us Dusty, some of us slight Dusty chants who like action, they had it finally hit one of the first villains. It is going beat by beat, but it's different. Just know that Gene, this episode is a little more bloodier. People get stabbed up in the back.
Full of dust.
Hey, whatever. But it's one of his first like super villains that samurai that he got. It had that samurai X feeling for you this week, Mike. But I do wish it was an hour per week. I recommend. I gotta go with Gamma. Like she said, let 2 episodes build, then watch it. It's easier that way. It's a little draggy out, but I'm gonna watch it. I love how it look, love how it sounds. It beats. This is the superior version to the one that came out in the late '90s, 2000. But hey, man, sometimes you like to gotta brush off that old console or antique with a little dust and watch it. But is it a week to week? You have to. Probably not. But I might just do it anyway. So you can find me at www.blerd-ish.com. That's www.blerders.com. Blerd period ish on IG. No threads yet. It needs to come. X. I really don't care, but I'm on there as well. Keith Kupro Facebook and also the Blerders Facebook page. And please, if you hit me on Facebook, especially my personal page, don't be weird. Just if you got some, use my email. I'll give it to you if you got any business inquiries. Just don't be strange out there. It's okay. I'm public. Hit us up if you got serious stuff to talk about or whatever. Next event will be Homa Comic Con, which actually Terrebonne Parish Library Comic Con. I'm doing back-to-back library stuff, maybe some stuff in between. Follow us and see where I will be at. But if you're in Homa September 16th, 17th, I'm not planning it. I'm just gonna be there this time, so I ain't got to worry about all that other stuff.
He said, "I ain't planning nothing."
Yeah, don't ask me.
He
nothing.
said, "I'm gonna keep this brief." I'm sorry.
Don't ask me nothing at my job or for this con.
Mark, oh man. Anyway, look, final thoughts. Love all y'all. Watch some cool stuff. Jump in the comments. Tell us how great that turban was that Ichigo was wearing. And also, if you have any extra science behind scuba gear and the safety from bites, feel free to drop that in the comments too. Until next time, when you have to deal with your own Mxy situation and knowing alternate futures, this is us to you saying peace.
Peace.
Peace.